Hello, world. Welcome back to Golf Subpar with Colt Knost and Drew Stoltz. And it is a very special Golf Subpar, Sleaze, because it's arguably our most fashionable one.
Oh, without question. We've upgraded, my man.
Look at this little guy.
Look at
right
you.
Here.
You look beautiful.
Colt and a stallion.
Yeah, that's a little Shetland.
Yeah.
A little Shetland.
Well, we are very excited to announce a new partnership with RLX Ralph Lauren. The RLX Golf Collection draws inspiration from the traditional aesthetic of polo, updating it to create a modern sensibility focused on performance-driven design. From sophisticated styles to the most technologically advanced fabrics available, RLX Golf is the ultimate in functional luxury and provides pieces that are ready for whatever the conditions bring on the course or off. Ralph Lauren is the official outfitter of the United States Ryder Cup team and partner of the AJGA. Ralph Lauren is proud to continue its sponsorship of golf ambassadors Tom Watson, Davis Love III, Jonathan Bird, Smiley Kaufman, Nick Watney, Billy Horschel, Doc Redman, Trevor Werblow, Devin Bling, Zach Johnson, and Sean Voley. The RLX Golf Collection is available in select Ralph Lauren stores, exclusive private clubs and resorts, and online at ralphlauren.com. And we are so happy to have them as a part of Golf Subpar.
You got to look good to play good. And you got that first part knocked out right here with RLX. I love this stuff. The fit's great. The material is fantastic. By the way, this stuff doesn't wrinkle very easily. Go on a golf trip, throw it in the bag, boom, pull it out, you rock it. No issues. No iron, none of that trash.
And listen, I know it's starting to get a little hot here in Scottsdale. It's not hoodie season, but I can't wait for hoodie season. The cashmere hoodies, whoo!
Once you wear one, you never wear anything else, period.
All right, we'll go to ralphlauren.com and check it all out. Let's get to it. Another designated event in the books. The Memorial up at Muirfield Village, the house that Jack built. You took him.
Let's go.
He's been knocked
top.
He's been knocking on the door, baby.
Get paid.
Victor Hovland put on a show, wins in a playoff over Denny McCarthy. The golf course was incredible. Played so hard. Back-to-back weeks, single-digit under par wins.
When's the last time that happened?
I don't know.
Long time. And two totally different golf courses from Colonial to Muirfield Village, obviously. But I know we're a week away from the U.S. Open. That thing looked like a U.S. Open. That thing was brown. It was crusty. It was bouncy. Balls were going miles. I mean, some of the places, Rory was hitting it. Wyndham was hitting it. It was sickening, but it was a tough test all the way around. And Victor Hovland, like we've been talking about, he's just been knocking on the door for so long. The players, the Masters, the PGA, right there. Big events, just hasn't gotten over the hump. This was his time. Props to Denny McCarthy holding some monster putts on the back nine, some monster par putts. Just seemed to do it over and over again. But ultimately, Victor in the one-hole playoff. I feel like he deserves this, man. He's been hanging around the hoop for a long time, and I know he's won 3 times prior to this on the PGA Tour. This is in a different class than that. This ain't on an island. This ain't an opposite field event or anything. This is the best in the world on a really, really hard golf course. Huge win for Victor, and look out for him. Come LA.
Yeah, new and improved short game. The work he's done with Joe Mayo, can't talk about it enough. He's a different player. He's a complete player now. I think that's the biggest thing. He was so great, open and honest. He's like, look, I suck at chipping. And he thought he had to totally kind of like rebuild the way he went about it. And Joe Mayo sat down with him, showed him some other examples of guys that play with strong, shut club faces. Like, hey, look, these guys can chip it. We just got to alter how you do it just a little bit. And they've done some great work. His bunker game is fantastic. It kept him in the PGA Championship. Unbelievable shots he hit around the greens. And then obviously the up and down on 18 to get into the playoff. Ended up after Denny McCarthy made bogey, them going to the playoff and Victor eventually winning with a par. But he wasn't the only story. Scotty Scheffler, I think, finished his round before Victor Hovland woke up and went out there, played a really nice round of golf, got in the clubhouse at 6 under par. And it looked like
that could hold.
He might win.
Yeah, that could hold.
I thought, honestly, coming down the stretch the way 16, 17, and 18, 3 of the hardest holes on the golf course. Kind of changed throughout the week of which one was the hardest. But you go back to 15 for Denny McCarthy. He was an 8 under, hit the big pull off the tee, spit out into the fairway, huge break, lays up, terrible gap wedge.
Dumps gap wedge. That, by the way, he had like 137 or something in on that shot and hit gap. I felt like Denny's not the longest dude in the world. I was like, that is a monstrous. I know he's probably playing front edge, but that is a monstrous gap wedge for him.
Yeah, and it ends up, not hitting the best bunker shot. Makes 12-footer for par, makes another huge par putt at 16. But I was like, Scotty's looking really good for a playoff right now.
Oh, on 15 when he dumped it, and that was before Victor had played 17. I was like, he's gonna get a playoff right now. Better go change his gear, go to the range, do whatever he's going to do, because people just weren't birdieing. 16, I mean, Scotty and Wyndham were the only two that I saw that were able to get it close there. 17, nobody birdied except Victor, and 18 is the toughest hole in the course. I thought Scotty was in a hell of a spot.
Yep. Victor with the huge birdie putt on 17, the only one of the day, and then the up and down on 18. But, man, it was fun. Those designated events continue to deliver when they have cuts.
Why change? We're a good way through the schedule now. They've been the best events on the PGA Tour outside of the major championships. Why change them? Nobody's complaining about them. I don't see why you need to shrink the fields, go to no cuts. Nobody's complaining. These things have been awesome. Keep it the way it is, I hope. And Scotty Scheffler to almost catch a piece of that playoff now, second week in a row where this week he was the worst putter in the field. Lost 18 strokes on the greens to Denny McCarthy. Came up a shot short. Similar story at Colonial. The ball striking that he's putting on right now might be best since prime Tiger for this long of a period of time, not like 1 week, 2 weeks here or there. For doing it over and over and over. If he just makes I don't know if it's a putter change or what, just something to erase the memory, but good God, the tee to green right now is disgusting.
Didn't make a putt over 10 feet, lost by a shot. The ball striking, I'm not the biggest strokes gain guy because I get it. It somewhat tells the story, but all shots are different. But if you look at his ball striking, I mean, last week he gained over 20 shots on the field with his ball striking. Next best was Jon Rahm at 11.
20, and then gave 18 up on the greens
to Denny McCarthy. He gave
to Denny. Yeah.
It's wild. It's another level. It's crazy. I mean, he can't make anything, and he's lost the last 2 weeks by a shot. Yeah. He made nothing at Augusta and finished top 10.
You just be normal bad, not even good. Just be kind of bad.
If you win
going away.
If you can putt better than two people that make it on the cut on the weekend, you win.
Yeah. You win. It's a joke. No putts over 10 feet, except for the one from the fringe, which technically doesn't count for a putt. It's disgusting. So we got a few dudes primed up for LA between Scotty, John, Victor. Throw him in the mix. I think that U.S. Open type golf course. That's a lot what Muirfield looked like. They got some guys trending at the right time.
Congratulations, Victor Hovland, but also huge shout out, Rose Zhang. First event as a professional, LPGA Tour. She's 1 for 1. You can't win them all unless you win the first. Went out there, won in a playoff over Jennifer Kupcho. This is the new face of women's golf. She is a superstar. She's already a superstar. 2-time NCAA champion. She won the ANWA. She's now won it on the LPGA Tour. In her last 12 stroke play events, she's won 10 of them, Sleaze.
2 misses.
Ew. What were you doing?
One of them was 12.
Yeah,
Jesus, give up the game. Get a job. I'll tell you this is the biggest compliment I can give Rose Zhang. More people were texting. It was right after Memorial. They were finishing up out there at Liberty National. I got more texts, tweets, messages from guys that follow the PGA Tour like relentlessly about what Rose was doing at Liberty National. I'm like, these people aren't typically tuned into the LPGA coverage on a Sunday afternoon, and they were. And that's like LPGA Tour has been begging for someone like that for a long time. Her expectations are probably going to become unrealistic. They're going to expect she came out, wins her first one. They're going to expect her to keep doing that over and over. And if she doesn't win for a couple months, they're going to be like, what's wrong? I don't know if it's fair or not, but by God, she's got it whether she likes it or not. She is going to be the face of women's golf.
Listen, over the last, however long you want to say, the LPGA has been pushing, more higher TV ratings. They want more money. They want more money in their purses. Well, you need the players to do it. And guess what? She just showed up.
She'd be the next household name, probably like just an average golf fan. Be like, hey, who's the first person you think of? It'll be Rose on the LPGA. It'll be Rose. It used to be Michelle Wie, and then I would say Annika Sorenstam. And the Cordes sisters, they're doing a great job too. But I think Rose is she's the best prospect ever in golf, men or women, coming from college to the professional ranks. Period. Bigger than Tiger.
LPGA, be very happy. You got a special one on your hands, and you need to promote her.
I think they will line up behind that. You want to hear some more good news, Colt?
Yes.
Before we get to the interview? The boys from Rokform are back. The #1 speaker in the game of golf and just in life, I would say, arguably. You listen to the show, you know about Rokform. The magnets, they don't quit. They can suck the paint off of a semi-truck. No clamps needed. The sound is spectacular. Waterproof, also tequila transfusion proof. Very important when you're out there with the fellas. Basically indestructible. Colt, we play them every single round. There's not another speaker I'd use, bud.
I don't go anywhere without it. It is with me at all times. 24-hour battery life. Some people say 5 rounds. Depends on if you're playing professional golf or amateur golf, but 24 hours of battery life is incredible. Like you said, the magnet doesn't go anywhere. Just make sure you go to Rokform.com and enter code SUBPAR for 25% off. That's ROKFORM.com. Rokform, the best in the business.
If you want to get super weird, you link the two up together, and they can hear you from space.
You want to party? Get Rokform.
Mm-hmm. Ain't no party like a Rokform party.
Well, yes, there. Yeah, I agree with you. You should bring your Rokform to a block party.
There it is. Nice.
Yeah, because our
Just
guest this
right
week,
in there, unrehearsed.
Our guest this week, whoo, he was the talk of the game of golf there a couple weeks ago at the PGA Championship. We wanted to let the dust settle a little bit. We reached out to him, talked to him about coming on. He did 1 million interviews. Well, he went and teed it up the next week at Colonial, and it didn't go quite as well. So I was like, you know what, Sleaze, why don't we get the tale of two stories? Two different. That was
two ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, because I mean the weeks were very different. Obviously, he was the star of the show at the PGA Championship, finishing 15th as a low club pro. Goes to Colonial, and the golf gods came back and said, "Not so fast, my friend." Now his ass was worn out. Let's be honest, but did not play his best. But it was a pleasure to sit down with him.
Yeah, and he was everywhere in the media, rightfully so, taking every opportunity to soak it up. And then some comments came out about the Rory McIlroy. It's like, all right, now he saw the whole spectrum of fame. I feel like in 1 week, it's like you're the underdog story, everyone rooting for you, everyone's behind you. You get to the top, wow, it's the best moment of all time, and then quickly now it's like, okay, we just wait for you to say something stupid, and we're gonna drag you down. And that's like exactly what happened. He just got it in basically like an 8-day stretch, and most people it's over like a decade.
Yeah. Welcome to social media, Michael Block.
Welcome.
And also,
glad to have you.
Welcome to Subpar. He will also be teeing it up this week at the Canadian Open. All right, here's Michael Block on Subpar.
All right. You are all familiar with our guest here today. Took the golf world by storm with his PGA Championship week at Oak Hill. Followed that with a start at Colonial. Now he's prepping for the Canadian Open. He is a busy dude, but we got him today. Michael Block joins us. What's up, Mike?
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. I greatly appreciate you.
Well, we appreciate you coming on and joining us. But we mentioned, obviously, you took the golf world by storm, but life comes at you fast because as we're sitting here talking right now, you're doing payroll out at your golf course.
A whole bunch
Look
of
at
it.
that.
That's what I got to do this morning.
A lot of work to
good.
catch up on. Is everybody getting a raise? Everybody gets a raise after that week?
I've had my door shut the entire time just so no one's coming in here asking me for raises right now. So we'll see about that.
Yeah, no meetings. Busy. How's the text catching up going? I think you said what you had 2,000 plus or something like that. Are we through them?
I'm down to 600 right now.
Solid.
Oh, good.
Yes, I'm feeling good about that. But every time I reply a text, and they keep on returning them, so I just can't ever get it down to zero. But it's okay. It's a good problem to have.
It 100%. Is, and I mean, you played absolutely incredible. I mean, to finish 15th as a club professional, play with Justin Rose, Rory McIlroy. I mean, you just pinch yourself and think, I cannot believe this happened to me at a major championship.
Yeah, Colt. I've been waking up every day since then, going, oh my, there's no way that's real. Like literally every day to today. And literally, during the tournament, John, my caddy, and I were literally pinching each other as we're walking down the fairway with Rory about 15 feet out ahead of us with his caddy and thousands of people on every side watching us. Yeah, it's been a dream ever since then. It gives me the chills every day. I've woke up crying. I've woke up, laughing. And, man, my wife and I are just kind of rolling around just going, we can't believe this is real.
Not only the PGA, but to also do it in New York, where the fans are like, they're probably the loudest fans that you get on the PGA Tour. They're golf starved, so when they do get an event, they go crazy. And they always love like the underdog story up there. It was kind of just like everything lined up at once.
I'll tell you what, up at Rochester, I mean, I don't know if I'm ever going to beat those fans anywhere I go because it was absolutely surreal and unreal how they took me in and took me under their arms and gave me a big hug and pushed me all the way through to that last putt on 18. I couldn't have done it without them. And I can't wait to go back to Rochester someday and say hi to everybody and thank them for what they did.
Take us through the moment because I was down there. I believe I was in the group behind you or the next one. But at Oak Hill, you had to walk over a bridge to the first tee. And I was standing there when you walked over the bridge on Sunday playing with Rory McIlroy. And the ovation you got, like I got chills. And it had nothing to do with me. What was it like for you?
Oh, man. I'll never forget that moment in my life. I just go, this is going to be the best day of my life. That's what I said. I sat there and I just took it all in. I sat on top of it and waiting because I didn't want to disturb the guys hitting up on 14. Uh, yeah, man, I'll tell you what, I knew it was going to be a crazy, crazy day. And then Roy rolled over the bridge right behind me and it was on from there. And it was so much fun.
How was your sleep the night before? Let's just call it Sunday, Saturday night. You're going in, you're playing with Rory. You're late tee time. You're in the mix. That leaderboard was pretty spread out. How was the sleep? Like, did you sleep?
Oh,
You need
yeah.
some help getting to sleep?
I don't have any problem having sleep. Yeah, I'm pretty good with sleeping. I got no problem with that at all. But I woke up pretty early. I'm an early riser. I like to go to bed early and wake up early. So we sat around and watched the coverage, which was really cool. We did that both Saturday and Sunday. So that actually helped a lot, kind of seeing the breaks and how the course was playing, how it was rolling out on the fairways and stuff like that. So it was, I think, a huge benefit to have a 2 o'clock and a 2:10 tee times on the weekend.
And you played a number of these PGA championships, and I know you said your goal was to be that low club professional at some point in your career, and then you'll be happy. So from now going forward, is everything else just icing on the cake for you?
It is 100%. Sorry. I just have a lot more pressure now on myself. I mean, not for myself, but actually what feels like the golfing world to perform. So that's the toughest part now is because, yeah, I did something crazy in 15th in a major, but I had never even come close to doing that in the past. Right. And I'm only getting older, but, I think Oak Hill set up really, really well for me. The fairways were really rolling out those first 2 days, and the greens were absolutely money, and I could read them, and I could see the break. The holes looked huge, and the speed was nice. But now I think now it's my goals. I have to adjust again. I'm getting very fortunate to get these sponsors exemptions into events, and I want to go there and I want to do it right. I want to take care of the sponsors. I want to take care of the fans, and obviously try to play as good a golf as I can. I have to say I didn't have my game that first day at Colonial, but I wasn't surprised by that at all. And I don't think anyone that in my position would have been surprised because I knew golf was going to come up and slap me in my face.
Yeah, and coming off such a great week, I mean, you did a lot of interviews. We talked about possibly doing it, but I mean, you were slammed. You did everything. If you could go back and change anything, would you maybe have just taken a little time out and said, okay, let me just rest, kind of just soak in the week, and then try to go play my best at Colonial? Or were you like, hey, this is my time. I'm just going to enjoy it and ride it out?
I wish I would have played in the pro-am on Wednesday. Um, I did interviews. I literally did, I think, 6, 7 interviews, like 15, 20-minute interviews in a row, from about 10 o'clock to 1:30. Went back to the house, had another interview at the house, ran back to Colonial 8, and then I finally got on the range, I think around 3:30 that afternoon, on Wednesday, and hit balls for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, but I was pretty beat, and then went back, and that's all I had on Wednesday. I would have loved to be able to get a 9 holes and kind of get the feel for the course, because the course changed quite a bit between Tuesday practice round and that Thursday first round. The greens were actually unbelievably soft and spinning off the greens on that practice round on Tuesday, and the greens were actually really fast. And then when we played on Thursday, it was almost the opposite. The greens started getting a lot more firm and then actually slowing down. So I wasn't prepared for that at all, and I was driving it like crap anyway. So, usually I rely on my putter at the end at least to get up and down. But I didn't have anything.
You were the talk of social media like that during the weekend, let's call it, of the PGA Championship, leading up to Colonial. That was everywhere you went. I don't know how much you're on social media if you check that stuff out, but like, could you feel that? Could you feel that? You talked about I have pressure now, like to perform going out there. Were you feeling that leading into Colonial?
Oh yeah, no, I mean, I hear all this stuff. And as you guys know, I made a stupid comment or whatever when I was on that one show, sitting in my family room that one day. And so even before that, I think a lot of people were sick of my face by Tuesday. I was sick of my own face on social media by Tuesday. So I was kind of seeing that, which was, I get it, whatever. I was on everything I could, they asked me to be on. So it was good. It was tough. And yeah, I felt a lot of pressure going into Colonial, but I mean, I feel a lot of pressure going into, any major and Oak Hill or wherever I go. So I don't think it was the pressure that really got me at Colonial. I think it was just golf got me.
For you, like Sleaze and I, obviously, we tried to play professional golf as well, decided to step away. You had aspirations of playing professional golf, but then went another route, being a club pro. And I know you're very proud to represent the 29,000 PGA club pros around the country. But at what point did you know, like, okay, professional golf's not for me. I want to go this direction?
I played the I think I won the 2001 California State Open, and the membership at my club where I was at that point was the Lakes Country Club out in Palm Desert, and they had a big barbecue for me and gave me money and said, "You're taking the summer off and you're going to go play." So I went out and played. And I went to Q school. I went to TPC. Well, I got through the first one at Dayton Valley up in Nevada, and then I went to the second stage at TPC Craig Ranch, and I felt like every par 4 out there was a par 5 that day or that week, and I'll never forget Sonny Skinner was out there, and he's about shoulder high on me and whatever else, and I'm sitting there going, my goodness, I balled my game, and I think I shot 73 or 74. Sonny came in at 66, and in the first round, and I'll never forget. I go, I'm going to be a club professional. This is ridiculous. This is crazy. So I even told Sonny Skinner that story about he really inspired me to be a club professional, and I actually appreciate it.
That TPC Craig Ranch, that's a spot, like, that's long hitter's paradise, especially that time of year. I'm sure it was freezing for you. It's like always freezing out there. So you did that one run at Q School. Was that the only time you tried that?
Yes, it is. The only time. Yeah.
Well, and then just that summer of like mini tours and stuff?
No.
State opens?
No, straight club pro. Of course I played, state opens and a couple things like that. But yeah, no, I gave up I didn't really even have that much of a dream to be on tour full time. That was more of the members of the club were like, you need to go do this type of thing.
When you an average week when you're at home, I know when we had you on CBS with Jim Nance and Trevor Immelman doing the walk and talk, you talk about you have your certain group of lessons that you give. How much golf are you actually playing during a week when you're at home?
I play Friday I got a Friday game, and then I've got a Sunday afternoon with my family. So Friday game with the boys, a little banker and a couple other things going on, and then Sunday with my family that's my golf days.
What are the members making you play to? What's the handicap?
Yeah, so normally when I play, I play as a +5.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've ranged anywhere from a +4 to a +8 over the last 20 years.
+5. That's generous. Talk about your boys. Let's get to your boys since you mentioned them. Yes. I've looked at a few of their swings on your Instagram. Holy shit! I think is it the 17-year-old? Like I'm pretty sure I saw one that had 130+ mile per hour club head speed with 3-wood. Is this facts?
Yeah, absolutely. That was on we did on a couple different machines. That was Bobby Laskin, actually, that video, who teaches right next to me on the back of the range here at Arroyo. But yeah, he's got insane speed. We've actually tried to calm him down. I think one of the worst things I ever did was actually get a TrackMan because he's just started going after speed for a full year and kind of lost his game. So now it's like an intermittent thing, not so much for speed, for more path and face for him to even be on the TrackMan with me. But yeah, he's insanely athletic, a lot of natural stuff going on. We've always worked on just big turn, high hands, and then just get after it. And yeah, he's going to the U.S. Open sectionals this Monday at Hillcrest up in L.A. I was going to be playing there with him, and this is going to be the first time we were going against each other in a tournament. But I've been transferred now up to the Canadian site, so I'm kind of happy that we're not going against each other because that would have been weird.
And your two kids, Dylan and Ethan, is Dylan the older one?
Dylan's he just turned 18. It just graduated from high school, and then my youngest one is a sophomore, just finishing his sophomore year. Yes.
Well, okay, with that kind of speed, obviously he's got a lot of game. He's made it through locals. Where's he looking to go to school? SMU in Dallas, really nice place.
Hey, you know what? I begged him to go to school. He hates school. He hates school so much it's ridiculous. So he's gonna stay amateur through the summer, and then he wants to turn pro. That's what he wants to do.
Wow.
He's lucky enough where he's played with a lot of pros around here, and he thinks he can hang with them. A lot of guys around here don't even want to give him shots. And I'm talking like tour pros. I can't exactly say who, but they don't want to give him shots just because he's so deep. He doesn't have the full game yet. He's kind of reminds me of like a high school basketball player that needs to go to college for a couple of years and kind of get better and get a little more mature around the edges. And he's got every facet of it though. He can roll the rock, he can chip, and he's deep. So he's got all the facets. Now he just has to put it together. And it's hard to make it on tour, so there's no guarantees whatsoever. But he's definitely going to give it a try.
Where's he going to play? Is he playing? You said he's playing amateur stuff this summer, and then he's going to give it a go starting in the fall. So what's he going to play? Just like mini tours, anything he can get into, state opens, kind of the usual stuff?
Yeah, exactly. All over. Yeah, we're going to send him around. And then once he turns pro, I'm going to basically try to get him in every Q school possible for 1 to 2 years. And if it doesn't work out, I'm definitely not going to let him be one of those guys out there struggling for 10 years on the mini tours. I know reality. And if you can't make it in those first 2 or 3 or something like that, you gotta try something else.
I want to talk about some of the tour players you play against, because rumor has it you and Patrick Cantlay have had some battles over the year. Can you take us through some of those games?
Yeah, Pat's been great to me for a long time. We met out at the plant playing in the Pro Scratch back in the day, and we had a game out there, and I think he beat me 5 ways on the front, and I got him 5 ways on the back that first round. And after that, he's like, okay, this Club Pro can hang a little bit. So I started getting the phone calls, coming out to games and stuff like that. And I've been lucky enough to get him here or there every once in a while, but he's definitely gotten me a heck of a lot more than I've gotten him. It isn't even close. He's a stud golfer, and the guy doesn't miss. So, but he's a great person for me to go play against. And so when I'm playing against, and I know he's the number 4 guy in the world, it gives me a lot more confidence. And honestly, that's been a huge thing, is that being around him, being around one of my best buddies who I play with a lot is Albert Pujols. And he's really gotten this mindset, and he's always like, Blocky, what are you doing? Why do you do not fail anymore? You do this. And he's always, doing these things, and this big guy, and he's really inspired me too to show up at these venues and show up at these tournaments and not be afraid anymore. Which is when you're showing up to a golf course afraid, you're gonna fail, and that's it. That's what it is.
Do some more Pujols impression. I like that.
Just
do the rest of the
interview
interview in Albert and Pujols' voice. That would be good. How hard does Pujols hit it?
He's so strong. He's got this 10-finger grip, right arm's really up high, and absolutely gets after it. He's got like 115-ish club head speed. Gets after it. He's like I think he's a 4 handicap right now. He was down to a 2 there for a little bit, but yeah, he's playing a lot of golf right now. He's having a good time.
He loves it. He comes out during spring training. He would always be out at Whisper Rock. Always see him out there. He absolutely loves it. I want to go back to the hole-in-one at the PGA, because it was an unbelievable moment. I was actually with Bryson DeChambeau's group at the time, and we were on number 13, and we heard this roar. And Bryson looked at me and goes, "What just happened?" I said, Block just flew it in the hoop on 15. He's like, "Are you kidding me?" I mean, what was that moment like for you? And more importantly, I want to know what the tab was at Arroyo for that hole-in-one.
Okay, so yeah, it was probably it's definitely the most surreal thing, and it took me. I don't know if you saw the video or not, but it took me a long time to actually grasp that it went in the hole. I've never done that in my life. I've never had a hole-in-one in my life in a tournament, much less in that venue and that circumstance and that time frame, playing with Rory McIlroy, with the crowd there, and like, I mean, the sponsor tents were right there too. And I just talked to a sponsor earlier that day, and they're like, "Oh, we're on 15," and I'm like, "Okay, cool. I'll try to wave to you guys and whatever else." And then it just dunks, and all these things started happening. And Rory just came up to me. He's like, "Dude, it went straight in the hole." And I'm like, "No way!" So I literally walked down the first 30, 40 yards of the hole, just asking everybody. And they're like, "Yes, it went in the hole." And finally, when I got on the green, I saw the front edge had just been blown out, and it was in there, man. And I'll tell you what, it's me the best shot of my life, hands down.
Okay, hold on. You've played 1,000 tournaments. That's your first ever hole-in-one in a tournament. It's at the PGA Championship Sunday in front of all those people with Rory McIlroy.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I know.
That's a good time to save it. You saved it up for the right one, dude. Don't waste them on the section events.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, that was the moment watching it. I was like, holy shit. Like, this actually is a movie. This is it. Everything's happening.
Was there a tab at Arroyo?
Yeah. So, one of the owners, he was in there watching. I don't know if you saw the video of Arroyo erupting, but he was in there watching, and he's a subdued, nice, great, quiet guy. And all of a sudden it goes in. He jumps up on the table and he goes, "Drinks are on us." And everyone has a cocktail. And then a couple of days later, I'm in Texas at this point, and I get these pictures, and our snack bar on hole 13, somebody put up a sign that says, "Drinks are on Michael Block." So the entire, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday, at the snack bar, I was also buying. I have yet to see this tab. I believe it's on my account. So I don't even want to open it up.
Oof.
You're doing payroll right now. Just whatever it is, chop it up by however many employees you got, and be like, we're all participating. This is for the family. All the free pub the club got, we're all participating in this.
Yeah, no doubt.
Dude, so that shot, that's when I was sitting there, I was like, dude, this is scripted. This is just one of those weeks where everything cool is happening. However, you said that was the biggest shot you've ever hit. I thought And I don't know how aware you were of this at the time. Like top 15 gets you next year. That's a big number, right? For all the club pros, not club pros, anyone that wants in the next year. You're coming up 18, tough hole, and 17, by the way. But you got to get that ball up and down. How aware were you of the top 15 at that time and what you needed to do on that up and down?
No idea, to be honest. I wasn't looking at leaderboards the last couple of days just because I know I'd choke. So I wasn't looking at it. I was walking up, and honestly, I've started in 8th place that day, and I was 1 over for the round. So I thought I hadn't lost much ground. I thought I'd be probably from 8th to maybe 12th to 15th. So I thought I was in a good spot. So I wasn't exactly aware of the situation. I did know it was very, very important, obviously. I know the money goes big time differences there once you get inside that top 20. So I knew it was big. I wasn't sure about the exemption into the PGA in 24, but that chip shot was, I wasn't kidding, man. That ball was at foot and below my feet. And if you look at the picture, there's like these 4 or 5 girls just standing off to my right. And I'm just like, do not hit one of these girls. I'm like, just don't do that. And so, I mean, I towed it. I handed it up there. I kind of, right flipped it up there over there. And it just barely, I mean, I was trying to land it between the fringe and the pin and to go about 10 feet by and have a 10-footer coming back. And when I looked at the video later on, I couldn't believe that it landed almost just slightly in the rough, trickled out of the fringe, and then rolls up on the green. There was definitely some powers to be helping me throughout that entire week. And then on that last putt, Drew, I mean, when that thing, it goes up to the edge, and it literally, I swear to God, sat on that edge for a second, and somebody just kicked it in. And that's where I just kind of leaned over, and I just couldn't believe what happened.
It was unreal.
That was
I mean, after you made the hole in one, CBS moved me up to you for 16, 17, and 18. And I've been with Rory McIlroy 100 times. He's always the fan favorite. Those people didn't even know Rory McIlroy was playing alongside you. I can promise you that. I was up at his drive on 18 when you were hitting your second shot, and he looked at me and goes, "What in the is going on right now?" Like, he was just in awe. I thought it was amazing. I mean, the way he was rooting for you on 18, that was just so cool. I mean, the whole world was rooting for you, but the fact that Rory McIlroy is playing alongside you, and I mean, he got so excited when that putt went in the hole.
I'll tell you what, Rory was absolutely the pairings I had, actually all 4 days, to tell you the truth. Taylor and Hayden Thursday and Friday were amazing, and then I had Rosie on Saturday. I didn't look. So I'll tell you a funny story. So both Rosie and Rory, I didn't look at their shots, their face, their body. I looked at their feet for the first like 3 or 4 holes both days, just because I didn't want to actually understand the fact that I was playing on a weekend in a major with a couple of my idols. I didn't even want to know that. I didn't want to like comprehend it at that point. And so I didn't even look at him until like the 4th or 5th hole. And then they were cool. We were having conversations walking down the fairways. We were talking about our families and golf and life and stuff like that. And I could not have had better pairings for all 4 days. I don't know what's a bad pairing out there, but I definitely didn't have it. I had unbelievable pairings.
Yeah, I saw that quote you said. I didn't look at Justin Rose in the face until after 3 holes, and I was gonna ask, like, what did he think? Was he just like, dude, there's something wrong with this guy? He just stares down, he just stares at my feet every time he talks to me.
Oh yeah, it was
social
funny.
skills. Did you meet any new guys? Like, you're friends with Cantlay, you play with him. I know you're friends with Bo Hostler too. You guys play a lot of golf. Did you meet any of the new, other than the guys you played with? Anybody else out there, practice rounds on the range that you kind of like now you're boys with that you didn't know before?
Every single person out there after Friday would come up to me and congratulate me and said nice words and shook my hand, gave me knuckles, whatever it is. And whether it was in the locker room or at the players' dining or on the driving range, everyone was so unbelievably cool to me. And it transferred right over to Colonial. I mean, everyone was coming up to me on the putting green, shaking my hands. Ricky, came up, and Annika Sorenstam on the putting green at Colonial. And then it was pretty cool. I was driving down the fairway at Colonial, and Ricky's out there playing the pro-am, and I'm in the golf cart driving out to the driving range. And Ricky stops and waves at me. And I'm like, I go like this to John, who's in my passenger seat. And I go, Ricky just waved at me. That was pretty cool. So, yeah, to say the least, I was awestruck. But, Brooksy was rad. I mean, he comes off the last green, and he's walking towards the clubhouse. I'm walking towards the 18th green for the ceremony, and he just goes, "Drinks are on you, bro." And he gives me a big hug, and I'm just like, "Are you kidding me right now?" He just walked off the green, winning the PGA Championship, and he's giving me a hug, man. I'll tell you what, he was awesome. There wasn't one bad soul there to be had. It was a lot of fun.
That's awesome, man. I love hearing that. Well, your biggest check before in the game of golf was 75,000. This the almost 300,000. Have you treated yourself to anything yet?
Yeah.
No, nothing. I've tried to buy a lot of dinners. I've tried. I've tried to buy a lot of drinks and dinners, and I've been denied, which is hilarious, right? I finally have more money I've ever had in my life, and I can't even buy a dinner now. So it's been anything from just random people in the restaurants to the people in my group to anything, and I just can't seem to be able to buy a dinner. So I can't wait to try to buy a couple dinners up in Toronto next week.
No, that's a great thing. That means you made it. I always joke with Jim Nance. I'm like, when's the last time you honestly paid for a dinner? When you got everyone that loves you and everyone wants to take care of you. I mean, Jim Nance is richer than everybody, and he doesn't have to pay for a thing.
Yeah, I've always thought about that. I always see those superstars out there, and they're always getting comped at golf courses and stuff. I'm like going, why is he getting comped at the golf course? That guy's got more money than everybody here combined.
Yep, that's how the
That's
rich.
how it works.
That's why they stay rich.
Yeah, exactly right.
Once you don't need the free shit, that's when you start getting the free shit. That's the way the world works. It works backwards. And you're playing Canada coming up. Do you have any more plan? Do you have any idea whether you might get some more stars? Have you talked to any other sponsors?
Yeah, so right now I'm going to be maxed out on for the PGA of America currently has for me to be able to play. But they're working on getting me up to the same amount that if you win the national championship, it's not so much for me, but if you get inside that top 15 in the PGA championship, they want you to be able to have the same amount of starts as the guy that wins our national championship. So 8 starts. Right now I'm at 4, so I can't really commit to any more at this point. So I'm waiting for a vote on that. I hope that goes through because I did get a really cool invite from Pierce Morgan going and playing in the Dunhill Championship over at St. Andrews, which for me, Kingsbarns, Carnoustie, and St. Andrews playing in a tournament, and I've watched that tournament forever, and that's like a dream of mine. And also possibly going over to Australia for the Australian PGA Championship, the Swiss Masters, which would be pretty cool. And so we'll see as far as other events on the PGA Tour. We'll see about it. Is what I need to do. I need to go play well in Canada right now. I need to go back and start playing good golf again. And well, I've got the U.S. Open sectionals on Monday first. It's going to be a big week for me. So we'll see what happens. I got a lot coming up next week.
I love it. Taking it worldwide. Michael Block. It's fantastic.
Where do they play that Australian PGA? That sounds, you should do that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where that's at, but I watch it every year. I remember it was like on Royal Melbourne or something like that.
Yeah, any of them.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I know it's firm and fast, which would be right up my alley.
Yeah, bouncy, super bouncy. You ever played a U.S. Open? You got sectionals coming up. You ever played in one of those?
I played in the 2007 U.S. Open at Oakmont and the 2018 at Shinnecock.
Oh, you choose the easy ones.
Just the hard, just good for scoring average.
Unbelievable. Those were so difficult. It was crazy, but it'd be a lot of fun to play at LACC to say the very least. Right up the road, 45 minutes from where I'm sitting right now. It would be an absolute party up there at LA. So I hope I can make that happen. And if I can't, hopefully my kid gets through.
Yes, no doubt. That'd be awesome. Both of you get through because that would be one hell of a story. All right, let's get to the E9, Sleaze. We do this with everyone, Michael. 9 fun questions to get to know you just a little bit more. And we ask this one to everyone, okay? You can trade lives with anyone, dead or alive. You get to be them for one day. Whose shoes would you like to walk in?
Michael Jordan at the Grove with 7 of my best friends playing a whole bunch of money games.
Oh, I love it. Nice.
So every day for Michael Jordan. Jordan's everyday life at this point.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That parlays perfectly into my next question. Tell me you found the MJ text at this point. I know you had 2,000. There was one in there from an unknown number. You said you had 1 million unknown numbers. Tell me you found the MJ text at this point.
Well, like I told somebody in an interview, I was like, I'm so apologized that I haven't gotten back to a lot of texts. And if it means anything to you, I haven't even gotten back to MJ because I didn't even see it. So I got a whole bunch of random numbers, right? And random number. So I hadn't even looked at them. So my Nike rep, he calls me. He's like, dude, did you get that text from Jordan? I'm like, are you what? And he's like, yeah, you got a text from Jordan. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So I'm on Colonial Putting Green, just like looking. I'm going through, for 30 minutes, I'm going down, boom, 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 boom. And then I see it. And MJ. And I'm just like, oh my God. And so one of the coolest moments of my life was honestly on the Colonial Putting Green, replying to him. And then the best part, putting him into my contacts, literally writing, Michael, Jordan. I mean, I get the chills even thinking about it. So yeah, it was really cool. And he actually hit me up again during the Colonial after my poor round, basically saying, really, I mean, the things he said is just amazing and inspiring. So I'm very lucky to have him on my side, and it's very, very cool.
That's really cool to get a text from him.
Hold on, Colt. Follow up question to that question: what's Michael's number? Quickly.
Just announce it to
no
the
one
world.
listens. He'll be fine. I got a question I need to ask the guy. Just put us on a group text after this if you would.
You got it, brother.
All right, that kind of goes to the next one as well. So other than him, who is like one of the big names that has reached out that kind of surprised you?
DJ Khaled.
Oh wow, cool.
Yeah, he's I don't know if you've been seeing a lot, but he's super into golf. I mean,
yeah,
he's got the full bug right now, so he wants me to come down to Miami, play some golf with him, which to me that would be just unbelievable. So yeah, him, and I mean, there's been a ton of them, but yeah, Luke Bryant, right before he was going on stage, I guess for the Voice, his wife was in videoing him, and he was watching, and he goes, he literally said, he goes, Michael Block's my idol, and I was just like, are you kidding me? I'm like,
that's cool,
dude. Yeah, it's been crazy. I mean, all these people I watch on TV that I look up to, and for them to even know my name is very surreal.
That's wild. That's a big one. You start talking about America or The Voice or whatever the hell the show is,
Yeah.
dude like that, saying you're his idol. That's pretty sick. All right, this is kind of a throwback here, Mike. We used to do this one, but I'm changing it for you on your special circumstances here because your commercial came out, right, for Arroyo Trabuco. It went around the internet everywhere. I thought your acting skills top notch, by the way. I feel like that's a backup plan if this golf thing doesn't work out for you. But if there was a movie made about your week at the PGA Championship, who you want playing you? What actor?
Yeah, Ben Affleck.
perfect. Get to hang
He's
out with
available.
J-Lo.
He just did good in Air. Air's done. He's done with Air, so now he's got some time. I feel like that's actually pretty accurate. That's solid. We get some weird ones that sometimes I'm like, nope.
Yeah,
But that one, I feel like that's in there.
the only problem being Ben Affleck is Sleeves would try to steal your wife. He's obsessed with J-Lo, like many.
No, she'd have
other-
some free time. I'll take everything will work out.
Hey, I don't blame you, Sleep.
occupied. And keep her very occupied. Trust me, we'll have a good time. Seems like a nice gal.
All right,
Easy to get along with.
next one. After you're finished, social media kind of went nuts. They're like, Michael Block should go to LIV. Greg should call him right now. Let's say the phone rings Sunday night. It's Greg Norman. He goes, we want you to come join LIV. The number is what? What would it take?
How long?
Let's just say they're gonna give you 3
Good
years.
question.
3 years?
3-year deal?
3 years. 3 mil.
All right, there it is. 3 years, 3
I think
mil.
they got that in the couch cushions, dog. You might be getting a
You might be getting a call now.
I was gonna say you already went viral for one podcast.
Yeah,
Quote, give us one right here.
hey, Colt, I'd be lying if I didn't say I already got a text.
There you go.
Oh, here
There
we
it
go.
is.
Now we're breaking
Hey,
news.
no,
Now
but
we're breaking news.
There was no talk of any money or doing kind of just a well wishing. That's just good job type of text.
Okay, fair enough.
All right. That's good scoop. Your agent is gonna, if you got one, gonna be pissed that you threw out 3 mil. Kind of first rule is just throw out something stupid and see where they land. So
I can't wait.
maybe add a zero to that and then come back.
Oh, by the way, I apologize, but one of the funniest things that I've seen so far, and I've seen it in social media, I've seen it all over the place, and I even looked at it. So if you look up my net worth, and so they had this on Wikipedia and all this crap, it shows that last year I made $17 million, and my net worth's $20 million.
Good for
Good
you,
year, dude.
Yeah,
Good year. You're right there with Scotty and Rom. Solid.
I have no idea how they came up with these numbers, and it must be some iRobot or something like that. But it's so far fetched, it's insane. But I just want to make it clear that Blocky does not have $20 million.
Not yet. Not yet.
You go over and win like
this-
6 or 7 live events, then you do.
Mm-hmm. There you go. You don't even got to win them. Just play decent. Be all right. This doesn't count as an E9 question, but just because I feel like it's on the topic. You're 46. In 4 years, if you want to, you can go to Champions Q School. Does that interest you at all?
Yeah, I turn 47 in 2 weeks. I don't want to be on any tour full time, really. You know, I don't want to be doing 35 weeks or something like that ever. Too much time away from the wife and the kids. So But at the same time, would I go play in a lot of Champions Tour events? Absolutely. Even if I did get my card, I just go play in X amount of events. Would I go to Q school? I would go to Q school, just kind of see what's going on, see how I fare up against the guys that are over 50. I would love to do that. My driver isn't short out there. It's short on the PGA Tour, but on the Champions Tour, it wouldn't be short. I'd be normal.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's
be right in the mix.
Yeah, perfect. Go ahead, Sleaze. No, go ahead.
No, you got one? Okay.
I want to save this one for last.
Okay, good. Keep it tucked. This is a two-parter here. So first, we've mentioned you play with Cantlay, you play with Hostler. One, we need to know what the games are when you play. Like, are you taking shots? Are you taking odds? How does that all work out? And secondly, who takes losing worse out of those two when they do have to hand over money? Who does it hurt more?
Oh, Bo. It hurts Bo for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Bo usually gives me, depending on the situation, usually if it's here at the home club, it's maybe not any shots, maybe one. Other, at his places, maybe it's a shot aside. Then with Pat, it's more of an odds thing. And I came up with that after I went to the Del Mar racetrack opening day, and I played with Pat the next day over at Shady one time. And I was there with him and Jamie Mulligan as coach. And I'm like, okay, 46-year-old club pro, 4 in the world. What are the if we're horses, what are the odds? I'm like, I think it's 250 to 1, Pat. He's like, come on, Block. He's like, I'm not giving you 250 to 1. I'm like, if this was a Vegas bet, that's what it would be. And he's like, and finally by the time we made it to the first tee, it was 10 to 1, and we went with it.
Went from 250 to 10. That's bad negotiating on your part, but I do like the 10 to 1 odds. That's fun. That's good.
10 to 1's nice. That's real. Number 4 in the world should clip you easy.
Yeah.
If he loses, 10x.
Exactly right. It's worked out well, and I did get a text though on Sunday after the PGA saying he's not giving me 10 to 1 anymore.
Yeah. See, good play changes all that.
Yeah, you screwed yourself there. Although it made up for it.
All right, next one. You're teeing it up, RBC Canadian Open. Finish this sentence. It'll be a successful week if.
Making the cut.
I like it.
Yeah, I'll be very happy making the cut. That would be a huge thing for me, and then just obviously making it and then playing as well as I can on the weekend.
Beautiful. We're all going to be watching. Looking forward to seeing that, too. You'll probably be featured groups up there, too. I got a feeling it ain't going to be hard to find you on that coverage, which will be awesome. All right, last one from me. I saw you picked up a shift, okay, at Raising Cane's just recently, slanging some chicken. Give me an official employee review of your shift at Raising Cane's. What you did well, what you need to get better at.
So I could work the front counter all day. I had that within, 2 minutes. But the drive-through, every time I go through another drive-through ever again in my life, I have so much more respect for those people. It's ridiculous. There's like 6 things you press over. You got to hold them down, and there's 2 lanes coming in, and everyone's wants a Coke and unsweetened tea and sweetened tea and this and this. I mean, these 2 young ladies that were working the drive-through helping me, I had so much respect for, and they had so much enthusiasm. And I'm like, I want to hire you where I work, man. And I was so stoked, and gosh, it was unbelievable. I worked there for an hour yesterday, right? I worked for an hour, and I came out of there, and I was like, how in the world are they doing that for 6 to 8 hours? I mean, it's insane. My brain was frazzled. But I'm definitely sticking to golf. Yeah, I definitely found the right spot for me, my little happy spot. And, man, they were awesome. But, yeah, I had a good time.
That's great. I love hearing that.
Beautiful.
That's so funny.
Good.
All right, last
Good
one.
sesh.
Obviously, you got a lot of shit about your comments on Bob Menery's podcast. I blame Bob. Okay, definitely wasn't
I blame
your
Bob,
fault.
too.
We
For
blame
the record,
Bob
I
for
blame
everything.
Bob.
But you mentioned that if Rory McIlroy drove it for you, you'd be one of the best players in the world. So now we're going to reverse that. Rory McIlroy is ranked 3rd in the world. If he had to play from your tee shots, what would he be ranked?
I feel so bad for him. Oh, my gosh.
It's a good question, dude.
I don't know. I bet he'd really struggle to be in the top 100.
Wow. Rory.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
How far? How far is he hitting it past you? How far is he hitting it past you?
Okay, so here's the facts, right? And I would love to know what you guys think about this. So these guys are averaging 185 ball speed. I'm averaging 160. That's 25 miles an hour ball speed. That's 50 plus yards off every tee shot. That equals 5 to 6 clubs less than I have into the green, and that's just on a par 4. Much less when it's a par 5, I've got a 3-wood and they have a 9-iron. So into the green on 2. So if you put that together for an 18 holes and I'm 5 to 6 clubs further back, you not for me or Rory or for anyone else, how many shots is that going to save you? And what kind of handicap would you have? How much would it improve being 50 to 60 yards longer?
Trust me, you don't have to ask me what I think about it. I lived it.
I was about to say, you doing it. That's how good. That's the most impressive shit right there down below you on the screen, that he was able to be out there for a good while doing that, hitting it that, roughly that same amount. But that's why when you said those comments, I was like, people freaked out about it. I was like, dude, that's not like he's saying I'm the best player in the world. It's like Rory's superpower is so much better and such a huge advantage than everyone else's. Like, you could insert name here. It doesn't have to be Michael Block would be a top player in the world. It could be name a ton of them, but they can't do what Rory does. That's more of like, I don't know. I took it as like Rory's so special off the tee. They're like, yeah, a lot of people would be great in the world, but they can't do that. That's why Rory is who he is.
I definitely got misinterpreted on that one for sure. And I meant nothing. I wasn't throwing shade at Rory at all. That guy's an absolute stud, and he has what he has, and that's why he's one of the best players in the world. And I'm realistic with what's going on. And I play with my kid all the time, who's similar length to those guys at 185 plus. And I'm used to being 60, 70 behind. I mean, just the other day, I had a 3-wood into the par 5 here, and my kid had a 9-iron, and it's just, it's crazy. So of course, would I be higher ranked than I am right now, being much longer? Absolutely. How much higher? I have no idea. But I would definitely be in top. I'm 577 in the world right now. I'd definitely be in the top 500 if I had 60 more yards every single tee shot.
I think that's a safe bet.
Yeah.
I think that, and also, welcome to the world of podcasting. You say 5 hours worth of shit, one stupid sentence, bam. That's it. That's what you're judged on.
Yeah.
You're getting just crash course in all of it.
Yeah. It is what it is. And you know what? If people hate me for certain comments and stuff like that, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. I've got so many people out there texting me and sending me mail. I can't believe how much of this mail I've gotten, saying how much I've changed their lives, and people that don't even play golf, and how much they've been inspired to go back to work and do something like that. I mean, it's been really cool, and the support is way overweighing any of the haters out there.
Yes, no doubt. Always, focus on that positive. And seriously, congratulations on such a great week at the PGA. We wish you nothing but the best at the Canadian Open this week, man. Thanks so much for sitting down with us.
No, you guys, thanks for having me. Thanks, Drew. Thanks, Colt. Appreciate you.
You got it, buddy. I'll
Keep
see
it
you
up,
there.
Blocky. Appreciate you, bro.
All right, well, that was Michael Block joining us on Subpar. Some obviously very interesting comments that I think are going to get some reaction. I liked reversing the roles there, where he said he'd be one of the best players in the world if he got to play from Rory McIlroy's drive. Well, how good would Rory be if he had to play for Michael Block's drive? Was a little surprised he said around 100th.
Hard to know, because that'd be Rory pegging it with about a 4-iron or so, 3-iron maybe on every tee. But that's why I was like, you said, you want to know what it's like, dude? Play my tee ball. That's why, to this day, I'm like, one of the most impressive things was that not only you got your tour card, you played out there for a long time. I'm like, the disadvantage that you're at versus everyone else. Like, you can't, I don't care how good of a putter you are, how good of a chipper you are, the margin for error is 0. And so, like, when he makes these comments, like, yeah, I'd be one of the best players in the world with Rory drives, I took that more as like, Rory's Superman off the tee. There's only a couple dudes in the world that can hit it like he does with the driver, and it's the biggest weapon in golf. Tons of guys would be top of the world golf rankings or close to it if you're teeing off from, look at where he was hitting at Memorial. I mean, 350, 370 we were seeing. Guys can't do that. So I didn't take it more as like, I would be the best player in the world if I could tee off from Rory. It's like Rory's so good off the tee that, it becomes a different game from up there.
Just think, Sleaze, if I drove it like Rory McIlroy, we wouldn't be doing this goddamn incredible podcast.
Exactly. I'll follow up that. If I shot it like Steph Curry, I'd be in the NBA.
We also wouldn't be doing this
and
podcast.
If I dribbled it, yeah, exactly. If I had handles like Jason Williams and shot it like Steph, league, which basically is a lot like my actual game, as you know.
But not the only most interesting comment. He heard from a lot of people, Michael Jordan being one. The shock. Greg Norman reached out to him. I think that one could get some people might catch some people's attention.
The 3 million number, Michael, I love you, bud. Awful negotiations. They're handing out fitty burgers like Halloween candy, dude. You just come with a stupid number and just see where they count it. You don't come with 3. They're probably like 3, done. Yeah. 3. I meant 300, and then you settle it 20. That's how you negotiate. That's done.
Sleaze.
We'll handle that for you. Going
Super
forward.
agent.
Call me,
Sleaze.
dude. Yes.
All right. Well, best of luck this week at the Canadian Open, Michael Block. Really enjoyed sitting down with you. Well, now it's time to get to some gambling, Sleaze. Some of golf's biggest tournaments are coming up, and you can get inside the ropes with FanDuel. Because right now, new customers can get a no-sweat bet up to $2,500 back in bonus bets. My God, that's a lot of money.
They got that McAfee money back, right?
Oh, boy.
They can spend.
Time to go on to that RBC Canadian Open. We're going to have some top 10 bets, some top 20 bets, outright winners, which you picked another one in Victor Hovland.
Let's go. 3 cents to Masters. Let's stay hot.
My man Shane Lowry delivered for our top 20, though, in our parlay.
True.
See, I'm a top 20 guy.
You're a
I
top
can't get
20
away.
guy. Just hammer away. Keep the card.
All right, well, if you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action. The app is so easy to use. They're always giving you great odds, and when you win, you get paid instantly. So step up to the tee and take a swing at betting the PGA Tour. All right. We're going north of the border.
Let's go.
We're going up to Canada.
Loonies and Toonies. Timmy
Yes.
Hortons. All the good shit.
I will
Love
be
it
up there covering it. You know what I'm going to be doing?
What's that?
You're not going to believe this.
Gambling? What?
Well, I'm going to be gambling.
Drinking?
But, last year at this time, I was off this week because we were in Las Vegas celebrating a very special weekend, which you missed out on. A lot of fun.
I do recall.
This year, same time, little different place. I'm going to be at the rink, as they call it, one of the par threes up in Canada in a goddamn hockey jersey sitting next to Amanda Ritter talking about golf.
Beautiful.
Vegas pool party, hockey
Wet
rink,
Republic,
whatever.
par threes.
No big
Gold
deal.
jacket, green jacket, same shit.
All right. Well, my favorite, we just had a guy who's been knocking on the door, finally walked through it. This guy has been as well. Been playing really solid. Going off at 10-1. My favorite.
Uh-oh.
My favorite.
Uh-oh.
Tyrrell Hatton.
Uh-oh. The Mad Hatter?
No way. You on him?
Right. What does that say right there, bud?
Oh.
Tyrrell Hatton, 10-1 for all the reasons you just mentioned. 5 consecutive top 20s, 3rd at Quail, 5th at Byron. And by the way, the 15th at the PGA, I view that as way better than 15th because
Yes.
he started off terrible, and then he played the best golf on the planet for the remainder of that. So, oh my God. I don't know if it's good or bad, but we are aligned on the favorite.
Well, your picks have
10-1.
been great. Mine
True.
really haven't, so I don't know if I'm going to ruin this for us or we're just going to
Just hop
continue
on.
rolling.
Saddle up, baby.
Yeah.
Legs are fresh. All right, let me feed you my dark horse then since we're going. Zhang just made history, right? First start on
Oh,
the
God.
PGA. Are you,
Oh, God.
okay, stand by. Stand by. Why can't it happen on the men's side? Ludwig Aberg, stand up, 60-1. If you don't know him, Texas Tech superstar, first pro star on the PGA Tour, 2-time Hogan Award winner, last guy to do that. John Rahm turned out pretty well. Won PGA Tour U, so he gets the card for the rest of the year and next year. Winning it might be a tough task for him, but for a top 20 bet, love it. I got to go around and watch him at Greyhawk, and it's like watching. This is kind of like a cliche comment, so I hate saying it. But it's like watching a 30-year-old play. Like nothing phased him, nothing rattled him. I got to see him hit bombs, saw him hit good wedges, good irons, short game. Kind of saw the whole spectrum. This dude is going to make noise quickly.
Well,
in my opinion.
I got it right there, Sleaze. Ludwig,
Whole-
60-1. All week, I was like,
Wow.
I wonder
How about
what his odds are going to be going in because he's playing so great. I know he didn't have the greatest NCAA championship, but
He had his
listen,
card locked at that
he
point.
is the real deal.
I was trying to think of like a comparison on the PGA Tour form. It's so you watch him swing. It's like there's no thoughts. It's simple. It's smooth. It's powerful. He's a big dude. It's real. And by the way, he's off to this is on Monday. He's off to a good start at U.S. Open sectionals too. He's right there in like the top 5 or 6 after the opening 18.
Well, I
so
mean,
he's dude. This guy is a dude.
He went to Texas Tech. You
That's
don't have to have a whole lot going on up there.
Yeah, he didn't have much of a social life. But what are you gonna do and love it? Cow tipping and golf.
Go to FanDuel.com/subpar and sign up. That's FanDuel.com/subpar to get a no-sweat first bet up to $2,500. FanDuel, official betting operator of the PGA Tour. Must be 21 years and older and present in select states. First online real money wager only. $10 deposit required. Refund issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Hope is here. Gambling helpline ma.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts. Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. That's 467-369 in New York. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit FanDuel.com/RG in Colorado, Iowa, Michigan, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Tennessee, or Virginia. 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342 in Arizona, 1-888-789-7777, or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut, 1-800-9-WITH-IT in Indiana, 1-800-522-4700, or visit ksgamblinghelp.com in Kansas, 1-877-770-STOP in Louisiana, or www.mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland, 1-800-522-4700 in Wyoming, or visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net in West Virginia. Sleaze, stay hot.
Stay hot. Got to get hot to stay hot. Did the first part. Let's go.
All right, next week we'll be in LA, U.S. Open. Here we come. Everyone have a great week. We'll be back on next week's Golf Subpar.